Hi everybody, I am your instructor for this semester, Professor Zioli, or Professor Z is fine. I am teaching the Anthropology 1L, which is Biological Anthropology Lab, and I've been doing that for about 14 years. And so I just, kind of like to put this introduction video out there to put a face to a name and let you know that I am a real person who will be doing the grading and posting of all of your assignments. So there's a few things that I wanted to bring up before we get started into the semester and as the first week progresses. This isn't an 8-week format, so unlike a traditional 16-week semester, our 8-week formats move a lot faster. They're expedited, so you're going to have to kind of imagine a 16-week class condensed. That means the workload is going to be more intense than a 16-week class. And so when you have the workload in that way with a lab class, which is this class that you're in, things can get pretty intense very quickly. And what I mean by that is the workload is not like a lecture course where you have a little more time typically in between assignments. In a lab course, and I'm assuming many of you in here are taking this for your science lab credit, we are actually doing method work. So what that means is basically we're doing the physical work in the methodology of the scientific method itself. So when you're learning about theory and you're learning about more detailed concepts in lecture courses, like in bioanthropology lecture, Anthropology 1, we're actually applying those concepts to the workload themselves. And that's the main difference between the lecture course and the lab course for biological anthropology. So the first thing you want to do is read the syllabus in detail. I create the syllabus to hopefully answer any questions that you may have throughout our time together until December 20th. The schedule is provided to you. It's fairly explicit, telling you exactly when the due dates are coming and what is expected of you as the semester progresses through the 8 weeks. The policies regarding the due dates and missing work and makeup work and all of that are in there, but just generally understand I do not allow makeup work because you forgot, because you got sick last minute. The assignments are due on that schedule that you're provided now, and you have 2 weeks to do these assignments pretty much. So there should not be any issue of planning ahead and making sure that if you have work schedule for those days that the assignments are due, that you plan ahead to do those assignments rather than wait until the last minute. It's always advisable to do it that way. With regards to the assignments themselves, the exercises, we call these lab exercises and lab short answers. They're going to come from this lab manual. So this is what the lab manual looks like. This is the second edition, and you do need the second edition for this class. So the first edition won't cut it. You would need to have the second edition, which was published in 2020. And all of that information is on the syllabus. You can rent it, so you can rent the online version. That'll save you some money if you do it that way. Just know that the information in the lab manual cannot be replicated anywhere else. So you do need to have that lab manual. I do provide a cushion for you in the first week, meaning that the only thing that is due this coming Sunday is going to be our first discussion, which is just an introduction, as well as the syllabus quiz, which is required. So that is very important. That's one of the first things you want to do in the coming days is get that syllabus quiz completed. It's fairly easy. All you're doing is answering a series of questions that are tied to the syllabus and the content in the syllabus. And this is a way for me and you to fully kind of acknowledge the course policies and that you acknowledge your responsibilities as well as acknowledging what I'm going to be offering to you is the teacher role or the instructor role. Also in the syllabus, and as we progress, it tells you most of the assignments. So all of the lab exercises, short answers, and discussions, those will be due on Sunday nights, except for the holiday weekend. So at the end of November, it will be due on Monday the 27th rather than Sunday, because I want to make sure that if anybody's out of town, they can have time with their families. But then again, the assignments are open for almost 2 weeks prior to that. So you should be able to complete it. If you know you're going out of town, you know you're not going to be around that weekend, or if you were like me in college and you're working that weekend, it's Black Friday, things get crazy, plan ahead is my point. Now, in terms of the primate project is worth 100 points in this class. And if you are not wanting to physically go to the zoo to observe a primate, you can do the research project. The instructions can be found on the homepage or under the assignments navigation link to the left of the homepage. Now, I post announcements every single Sunday morning reminding you of what we have in the coming week. And that's also reminding you for assignments that are due that given night, respectively. If there's anything in the syllabus that you would like clarification on, doesn't make sense to you, you're more than welcome to send me a message in Canvas. Speaking of, that is my primary form of communication here at Saddleback College. I prefer that more than I do email. It just makes it a lot easier for me to know what class you're coming from and what specifically section that I teach, that you enroll in and I teach in. So, because I do teach 3 different sections at Saddleback. But that's pretty much all I have for you today, and you're going to see maybe 1 or 2 videos pop up of me giving brief instructions on how to do something, in particular the Lab 4, which is a lot of hands-on activity. But please obtain your lab manual. The first 4 lab chapters are all due November 5th. That does not mean you have to wait, and that's actually encouraging you not to wait until November 5th. I would start sooner the better. Get the lab manual and make sure that you have it completed by that time. I cushion out the 4 labs to November 5th to give people enough time to obtain their lab manual, but you don't want to wait on that. You want to do it sooner the better. So other than that, have a great rest of your first week. We will go ahead and get started on that discussion and that syllabus quiz, as well as get started on those 4 first labs. Reach out to me if you have questions.